Hello and welcome to yet another video in the marketing series. Today we are going to be talking about a very powerful magnetic marketing strategy. I'm excited about this strategy because this strategy has the potential to position you as a celebrity in your industry. So how many of you would like to be a celebrity in your industry? If you would like to, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, "That's me." Wonderful. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about author marketing. Yes, how you can become an author, how you can author a book and become a micro celebrity in your industry. Because I want you to understand this. Authoring a book establishes you as authority. The word author is derived from the word authority, which means you are the go-to person when it comes to that particular domain or product or knowledge of that services. So, are you ready to learn how authoring a book can become a game-changing marketing strategy for your business? For most people, they look at a book purely as a knowledge tool. But any international best-selling author will tell you that the book is not just a knowledge tool, but a powerful magnetic marketing tool. Now, before we begin, and I share with you how to go about authoring a book which can change the fortunes of your business, I will first share with you what are the types of books. So fundamentally, there are three types of books that anybody could use as an author marketing tool. The first type of book is called a book for credibility. Make a note of this. It's called a book for credibility. The idea behind the book for credibility is that it's a book where you are not authoring it, but somebody is featuring your story and you in their book. Now, typically you can use this book to showcase your credibility that you are someone worthy of to be written about by somebody else. So this is called a book for credibility, where you get interviewed and you get featured in someone else's book. The second type of book is called a book for connections. Typically, this is the book that you are authoring, where you will use the book as a premise to generate interviews with decision makers so that you can establish your connection and relationship with them. Now, this is very similar to what you learned in editorial marketing, where you were interviewing people for a blog site. Here, in a book for connections, you are interviewing them for the book. And finally comes the third type of book, which is called book for content. The idea behind a book for content is a book which you are authoring, where you are sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, and your experience with the world at large. Now, before we move further, I want to ask you, which one do you think is the most powerful book which could change the fortunes of your business? Is it book for credibility, where you get featured? Is it book for connections, where you are interviewing others? Or is it book for content, where you are sharing your knowledge and wisdom with the world? Now, most people respond to me saying that a book for content, where they are sharing the knowledge and wisdom, is the most powerful book. But let me tell you, that is not the case. The most powerful type of book is a book for connections, because you use this book to build connections and open doors with key decision makers who have the ability to give you opportunities which can change the fortunes of your business. Now, a book for credibility is the lowest level, where somebody else has written about you. You can't leverage that book too much for your business. All you can do is use it as a business card or as a gift or a giveaway to any person that you meet. A book for content, where you share your knowledge and wisdom, is relevant only after you've become a brand, only after people know you. But if you start with a book for content, which is the mistake I see most people make, they share their knowledge, they share their wisdom, they publish a book, but nobody buys. Why? Because nobody knows who you are. So start with a book for connections. It has the ability to transform the fortunes of your business. And then, once you've established a brand, then you can definitely go for a book for content and share your knowledge and wisdom with the world. So what we are going to be focusing on right now in this video and through this marketing journey with you is a book for connections. So are you ready to learn how to go about writing and publishing a book for connections in a step-by-step manner and changing the fortunes of your business? If you're ready, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, "I am ready." Wonderful. Now, before we go into the steps, we need to firstly understand the rules of author marketing. So there are 3 rules that I want to share with you right now, which I would like for you to make notes on. The first rule is this: you don't make money by selling books. Yes, you heard me right. You don't make money by selling books. You make money by the opportunities generated by the book. It's not that we are interested in selling one book at a time. No, that's not our primary focus. Our primary focus is to leverage the book, leverage the branding created by the book to attract and open new opportunities. So the first rule is you don't make money by selling the book, you make money by the business opportunities created by the book. The second rule is you don't author a book once you become famous. Now this is a common notion that I see people carry. They say, who am I? Who will buy my book? What can I write? What do I have to offer? That's a flawed notion. Most people tell me, Rajiv, I will author a book once I become famous. Wrong. You author a book to become famous. So it's not like you need to get somewhere in life to be able to author a book. There's a science and a mechanics that I'm going to teach you which can make you famous by authoring a book. So I want you to change that notion that you've been carrying that someday you will be worthy enough to author a book. You are ready today. There's a book inside you and I'm going to teach you how to pull it out and make a lot of money out of it. So that's what we are going to be focusing on. And then finally comes rule number 3 of author marketing, where through this journey you got to be an author, not a business person. Your persona, your identity, your self-image, your business card, your social media profiles, everything needs to say that you are an author, not a business person. And that will open new opportunities for you. So let's quickly review those 3 rules of author marketing. Number 1, you don't make money by selling the book. You make money by the opportunities generated by the book. Number 2, you don't author the book once you are famous. You author the book to become famous. And number 3, you are an author, not a business person. So you need to carry that identity and persona. So with those 3 rules, let us further move forward into seeing some case studies of how authoring a book has transformed the businesses of some of the people we have been working with. So are you ready to see some case studies? If you are, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I am ready. I want all of you to say hello to George Matthew. George Matthew was a technology professional for over 2 decades in the telecom industry. He reached the senior management position of large telecom organizations before he decided to move on and pursue his passion in child psychology and parenting. Now what George did is he went and acquired a couple of certifications in child psychology and parenting. But that did not allow his business in child psychology or as a child specialist counselor to take off. So George came into our program and he understood the power of authoring a book as a marketing tool. Now let me show you what has been the impact on George's business by authoring a book. So what you see on your screens is George's book cover, and the book title is Making of a Parent, Know What It Takes by George Matthew. Now what George did was he conducted interviews with 30 preschools and invited about 100 preschools for his book launch. Now for George, he wanted access to parents. He wanted to conduct parenting workshops and then get into counseling of parents and children. Now for him to be able to do that, he identified that he can get access to many parents if he partners with preschools. Now to partner with preschools, what George did was he interviewed the decision makers of 30 preschools and ended up inviting 100 preschools for his book launch event. Now as a result of that, people who got covered and interviewed spoke highly about George at the book launch event and also opened opportunities for George to conduct parenting workshops in their schools for the parents of the children studying in their schools. Just the book launch event opened 20 new accounts for George, where he no longer has to run after one parent at a time, but he's getting a platform where he's mass marketing himself by firstly adding value. So I want you to see what George has done is he's done author marketing, interviewed preschool owners, built a relationship with them, and then opened a platform for education marketing where he conducts a free how parents can help the child in brain development workshop, and then from there further offers courses for parents and for children, which becomes his business as a trainer, counselor, and a parenting expert. Now I want you to understand this. What George has essentially done is built a business around the book. Now people refer it to as author George Matthew of Making of a Parent. And he gets invited at different forums and platforms to talk about child psychology and parenting in the modern day. And he always has people approaching him after his talks who want to work with him on their parenting skills and abilities, and also on their children's engagement with the family. George has built a successful business around the book. This is what I mean when I say the opportunity and the money is not in selling books, but the opportunity is created by the book. Now, let me showcase to you another example. I want all of you to say hello to Motish Kumar. He is the managing director of Stepstone Construction. Now, if you've been watching the Indian economy, over the last couple of years, the real estate market seems to have taken a huge hit. Anybody in the real estate business has been complaining about how the market conditions are against their favor and how the business has dramatically gone down. Now, in this period where most of Motish's competitors are weeping that the market is bad, Motish has used the book to leverage and create a brand out of himself and has taken his business to a whole new level. Motish has authored this wonderful book called Reality of Real Estate. Now, if you look at the title of the book, that in itself is intriguing. Here you have somebody who's saying, I'm going to tell you the reality of real estate. Now, let us look at what is the result of this book on Motish's business. Unlike George, who conducted interviews for the book, in Motish's case, because he's more B2C focused, what he did was, for him, the book was a brand building and credibility establishment tool. Now, how he used the book was as follows. With the book, Motish's brand visibility dramatically increased. He, in fact, built an image of a property coach, because the baseline philosophy of his book and how he marketed the book was around the fact that he's going to tell people and teach people the reality behind real estate so they don't get cheated into deals which are not favorable to them. So most people looked at Motish's honesty and integrity and gravitated towards him. It's not just that. Motish got interviewed by 3 local television channels because of his book. Now I want you to understand, while he's been invited by the local media to speak, that in itself takes his reach to a whole new level and his credibility to a whole new level. He has positioned himself as an expert in the industry and demands a lot of trust, which is a very valuable asset to have in the real estate business. And as a result of that, he has taken his company's revenues up by 40% within 1 year's time, which is a huge jump for anybody in the real estate industry. Motish's story serves as a great inspiration for anybody who comes with a positive intention towards their target market and is willing to take a stand for a larger cause and a larger mission. In Motish's case, his positioning today is that I don't just recommend the properties we as Stepstone are offering to you. I will give you a recommendation of what is the right buy and not the right buy, even if you're not buying from us. Now, this has made Motish a magnet in the industry where people line up to have conversations with him or his team. That's the power of authoring a book. Now, let me tell you how you could use a book in your business. So there are multiple uses of a book. The first one being that you could use the book as a business card. When you go for a meeting with a potential client, or your sales team goes for a meeting with a potential client, they can carry your book as a business card and gift it to the prospective client. Now, if you're going personally and you hand over a book as a gift, for most people, they've never met an author in real life. They get excited. After a film star and a sports personality, the third most intellectually glamorous profession is that of being an author. And people always receive you with standing up and saying, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And that feeling is amazing. In fact, don't be surprised if your prospective customer asks you to autograph the copy of the book that you're gifting them. So use the book as a business card because your competitor is not even thinking of this direction. And what I want you to understand is this. Most business cards given by sales professionals to their prospective customers are trashed in the bin. But a book is never trashed because people associate knowledge and value to a book. They treasure a book and they keep the book safely in their bookshelf. So I want you to say this. 99% of business cards are trashed. Come on, say it. 99% of business cards are trashed. 100% of books are retained. People don't throw a book. In fact, just owning a book makes people feel intelligent. So 100% of books are retained, which means people will always remember you. When they think of your product or your service, they think about you. That's why you should use the book as a business card. And let me give you a small secret. Come closer, lean forward. While 99% of business cards are trashed and 100% of books are retained, 98% of books are never read, which means what's inside the book doesn't really matter that much. So you can be easy on yourself about the grammatical errors or spelling mistakes that you are scared of while you author your book. Don't worry. It is a game of shabby success. Don't seek perfection. Author that book. You don't have to be a grammarian to author a book. So use the book as a business card. I know this brings a smile to the faces of many people when I share with them that 98% of books are never read. Think about it. Most of the books you have at home, they are not self-help books. They are shelf-help books. They are helping the shelf look good. So that's the reality around books. The second thing about how to use a book, you can use the book as a lead capture tool to build your tribe. Like if you go on my website, rajivtalreja.com, as soon as the home page opens, there's a lead capture form there that says enter your name, enter your email address, and receive 3 chapters of the book Lead or Bleed in soft copy. Now what I do is I give away those 3 chapters in soft copy format and get the database of my target customer in return. Now this is how I use my book as a lead capture tool to build my tribe. If somebody is willing to give me their email ID for an exchange of 3 chapters of my book, it only tells me that they're interested in the topic that I am talking about, and I can market to them further, adding more value to them and eventually offer my products and services to them. So use the book as a lead capture tool. The third use of a book is to use the book as a door opener with key decision makers. Now, in my case, I used my book Lead or Bleed to open doors with 300 organizations. I interviewed more than 300 CEOs and HR heads across India of some of the largest brands in the country. How? Well, my office would make the call and say, I'm calling from the office of the author, Mr. Rajiv Talreja, who's authoring this upcoming book titled Lead or Bleed. And in this book, he's doing a section called 50 Leadership Philosophies of India's Great Workplaces, for which we are conducting interviews with some of the best corporate leaders and business leaders across India. Now, we use this as a door opener to get interviews. So you can use the book as a door opener to get interviews as well. Then comes the fourth use of the book. You use the book to get media attention and to build a brand. Well, let me tell you something. When anything happens in your locality, in your environment, the local media always wants to know what does the author have to say about it, or what does the author think about it. There are numerous number of times I get calls on a week-to-week basis from local media channels wanting to take my opinion on a current issue that is trending in the news. And that's how, by giving my nuggets, my pieces of advice and opinions, I build a brand in the media and get recognized by people in the public platforms. So I want you to understand, a book can get you media attention. And then comes the fifth use of the book, which is you use the book as a lead magnet tool. Now, in combination with education marketing, this can be extremely powerful. Like for my education marketing free seminars, we always market the seminar as done by author of the international bestseller book, Lead or Bleed. So the book is serving the role of a lead magnet, attracting people to come into my events and my seminars because they want to learn from the author, who is the authority and the expert in that domain and that subject matter. So use the book as a lead magnet tool to attract people into your rooms. And finally, you can use the book as a catalyst to get you speaking opportunities. At prestigious forums, you can get invited because you are an author. People want to hear from the expert, and the book establishes you as an undisputed authority in your line of work. I really want you to think about it. How many of your competitors are actually thinking about a book? How many of your competitors are actually authors? This is your opportunity to stand out from the crowd, to position yourself differently. And let me promise you something. When your customers see you as an author, they don't bargain with you because they don't want to sound cheap by bargaining with an authority figure in the industry. And this is where you can leverage the book to demand the price that you deserve and get it without haggling or your customer bargaining with you. The book has many such benefits and many such ripple effects that you cannot even see or imagine. I have had people receive joint venture business proposals and opportunities just because they are authors. People want a credible expert to be on their board of advisors, and authoring a book can open such opportunities where people can come and offer partnerships to you in their businesses as well. So the book is a magical tool of magnetic marketing. I hope you start seeing that, and I hope your horizon of what a book can do is expanding. If it is, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I would love to be an author. Wonderful. Thank you. So now, let me take you through a step-by-step process of authoring a book. So, I want you to make a note of all these pointers as I take you through each and every pointer in a step-by-step manner. So, there are 11 steps before you become a published author. So, make a note of these 11 steps now. Step number 1. Come up with your book title, subtitle, and feature section title. I will teach you how to do this in the coming slides, but first make a note of all the steps. So book title, subtitle, and feature section title, this is step 1. Step 2, get a photo shoot done professionally. You need to look like $1 million. So make sure you hire a professional photographer and get a photo shoot done for yourself. Again, the details of this are coming soon in this video. Step 3, design your book cover and your business card. Again, it's a marketing game. You got to look like $1 million. So get a professionally designed book cover and a business card. Step 4, get a media kit in place. Now this is a powerful document that is going to change the way people look at you even before your book has been published. And I will share with you a template of how does the media kit look. And in this email with this video, we are also sharing with you a sample of a media kit which you can use to create your own media kit. Step number 5, create your interview questions. Like editorial marketing, you need to have your questions prepared in advance. Again, with the email, we are sharing with you samples of how to create an interview questionnaire. Step number 6, create your telemarketing script to set up interviews. Your team needs to have a specific script of how they're going to position the book and you as an author and generate that interview. Step 7, create your email template. Again, with this email, we're sharing with you samples of a couple of different formats of emails that can go out to people with whom you are setting up interviews. Step 8, writing the book in itself. Now this is something I will not talk about in this video. But once you're ready with the first 7 steps and you've completed interviewing at least 100 people for your book, that's when I will teach you how to write a book within 40 hours. So that is also coming, but that will be in the mastermind sessions and not in this video. And then comes step 9, 10, and 11, which is finding a publisher, doing your book launch event, and marketing the book. Again, these are 3 steps that we will handhold you with at a one-to-one level once you have completed interviewing at least 100 decision makers who have the potential to transform the fortune of your business. So I hope you made a list of these 11 steps, and we will dive into each one of these steps from step number 1 to step number 7. If you're ready, we are ready. Now there's an age-old saying that says, never judge a book by its cover. How many of you have heard that? If you've heard that, raise your hands. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn to the person next to you and repeat these words after me. Never judge a book by its cover is bullshit. A book is always judged by its cover. Everybody say it. A book is always judged by its cover. So the cover of the book needs to look like $1 million. So here's what goes into creating a world-class book cover. The first thing that goes on the cover which will attract people's attention is the book title. So you need to create a book title which attracts and creates curiosity in people's mind. Don't create a boring title. Create a title that either is shocking or is interesting. At least it should capture the attention of people. Like when I say my book is titled Lead or Bleed, that makes people raise their eyebrow and go, what's that? Lead or Bleed? Sounds interesting. So the book title needs to sound interesting. That's the first thing for you to keep in mind. Next is the book's subtitle. Now if you look at my book subtitle, it reads how entrepreneurs and corporate leaders can use a proven system to stop firefighting and start accelerating performance and profits. Now this is a template. It is how dash, which is my target audience, entrepreneurs and corporate leaders, can do dash, stop firefighting, so that's the problem, and can start doing dash, accelerate performance and profits. And how can they do that? By using a proven system. So if you see the subtitle, that's the most important part, because that gives the context about the book to the person who picks the book in their hand. So get a subtitle in place which showcases clearly who's your target audience, what is their problem, what is the solution you are going to provide to that problem, and how are you going to provide that solution. That's what creates a holistic subtitle for a book. The next thing that needs to go on the book cover is an image of the author. I always prefer an image of the author. However, some authors say they like to be at the back of the book cover. My preference is, if you want to build a brand, you want to be a micro celebrity, put your image on the book cover. Like right here in the slide, I show you 3 options of my book cover, Lead or Bleed. The reason I chose the one that I actually chose is because it had my image. The other thing that needs to go on the book cover is another pictorial image that depicts your title. Now, if you actually see here, I have 3 samples on this slide. One has the paper boards, and there is one paper board which is in gray while the others are in red, which perfectly depicts Lead or Bleed. Bleed is red and the ones bleeding are behind, and the one leading, the paper board, is in front. The second book cover that you see has a pencil which is in red, which is standing out from the other pencils in black. Now the reason I didn't select this book cover, even though it has a powerful imagery of Lead or Bleed, is because the color of the red pencil was indicating bleed, whereas I wanted to project leading as growth. So I rejected this book cover. Now, you see another book cover sample of mine in the screen here, where you have fishes jumping out of one small bowl into a bigger bowl. Again, it's a powerful image depicting the title of the book. So you need to get a powerful image that depicts the title of a book and tells a story about your book. That's what creates $1 million book cover, because a book is always judged by its cover. So I hope you got the components right for the book cover. The book title, the subtitle, an image of the author, and another image which tells a story about the book. Now here are some pointers I would like you to keep in mind when you're going in for a professional photo shoot for yourself. So please make a note of these pointers. Make sure your pictures are in high resolution. So hire a professional photographer to do this. Do not click pictures on your mobile phone and treat them as high resolution pictures. Get a professional photographer in place and do a photo shoot in a white background. because you want to be able to use these images in all your branding, all your marketing material, not just your book, but also on your website, on your marketing collaterals. So make sure that the photo shoot is done with a white background. And ask the photographer to give you 20 to 30 images in 3 to 4 different outfits. So make sure you have 3 to 4 different outfits into which you are changing and getting 20 to 30 high resolution images from your photographer. And the types of pictures you need to look at getting clicked are headshots, where the focus is on your face, are mid-body shots, are full-body shots, where your half body and your full body is visible. Then there's something called as holding shots, where you're holding a book or you're holding on to something which can be used in the promotion of your book, or any kind of out-of-the-box shots where you're using props to depict elements of your book. Like in my book, we talk about firefighting, so I actually did a photo shoot where I had a fire extinguisher in my hand. In my book, I also talk about 3 screws to turn to accelerate performance. I had a screwdriver that I held near my head, almost as though I'm indicating turning of 3 screws to accelerate performance. Have fun in the photo shoot. Build a relationship with the lens of the camera and fall in love with it. Initially, you may feel a little stuck and uncomfortable because it's your first time. But as you do it, 20 to 30 images into the process, you need to start having fun. Lighten up, loosen up, and play with the camera, and the camera will capture those most authentic, powerful images of yourself, which you can use on your book cover, in your book branding, on your book website, and in multiple other places. So enjoy your photo shoot and start treating yourself like a supermodel and a superstar. Next, after the book cover, comes your business card. Make sure you get a new business card as an author. Here is a sample of my business card when I started the journey of authoring the book. Now what you see is a front and back of my business card, and this was a vertical business card that I got done. It has my image, it has my title as author of Lead or Bleed, and the back of the business card has an image of my book in a 3D stack, and also a giveaway saying download the book for free. This is my way of generating leads in the initial days of my authoring journey. So create a business card where your identity is that of an author and not a business owner. Now that you've got your book cover, which looks like $1 million, and your business card designed, the next thing you need to design and develop is what I call a media kit. Now the media kit is a document that you will send along with the email invitation, where you are going to be reaching out to people to interview them. The media kit is a document that establishes you as a credible person, because the way the media kit is constructed makes you look like a true professional. So I want you to refer the sample of the media kit that we've sent you in the attachment with this video in the email. Now if you look at this media kit sample, a media kit is typically anywhere between a 6-page or a 7-page document which you convert into a PDF format and send it as an email attachment. Let me run you through the structure of a media kit, and please make a note of all these points when it comes to the structure of a media kit. Page 1 of the media kit is your book cover page with a golden badge of the special section. Now when you are authoring a book for connections, you will create some kind of a special section to interview the decision makers of your target customer base. Like in my book, we did a special section called Stories of Inspiring Icons and Entrepreneurs and 50 Leadership Philosophies from India's Great Workplaces. So on my media kit, we had a golden badge on the first page which spoke about stories of inspiring entrepreneurs and corporate leaders. So the book cover page with a golden badge of the special section is what goes on page 1 of your media kit. And then on page 2 of your media kit, you have the following elements. Firstly, a description about the book. Now your description about the book needs to be carefully written around the problems of your target customer and what do they need to learn. So here is where you are expanding the problems and the pains of your target customer and what is required for them from a knowledge point of view. After that, below, you put a learn how, where you write down bullet points of what will they learn from this book. And you also have a book cover image in the 3D stack style that you see on page 2 of my media kit. You also have a quote by the author so that you are giving people some value and some food for thought to think about. Now this is what page 2 looks like. Then we go to page 3 of the media kit. Now this is where you highlight what will people learn in your book. What are the highlights of your book? So you can start this section with the header saying, in these pages you will uncover, and again have some bullet points of the key highlights about your book. And then below that, have the chapter titles of your book. This is what creates intrigue in people and shows them the journey of the storytelling in your book. Along with the chapter titles, next to that, have an image of yourself, the author, which makes this document look really, really professional and world class. And again, insert another quote on this page by the author. Then on page 4, you highlight the background of the author by having a section called About the Author. Here you put a descriptive profile of yourself and again an image of the author, which makes the media kit look $1 million document, and below a book cover image in 3D stack style with an other quote by the author again. Then comes page 5. Now page 5 is where you can have testimonials by prominent people about the book. Now how do you get these testimonials? You can get these testimonials by sharing the first 3 chapters of your book in soft copy. So one of the things I would recommend is write down the first 3 chapters, share it with influencers, and ask them to give you a testimonial for the book which you can use in the promotion and marketing material of the book. Now this is relevant only after you've written the first 3 chapters. In the initial stages, you may skip this page as you may not have any testimonials about the book. Then comes page 6. This is called the book info page. This is where, in a neatly aligned bullet point manner, you have the book title, the subtitle, the tentative release date. And I always recommend to people that keep a release date 2 years from the time you're starting the book project. Because the idea is to go and do at least 100 interviews with your decision makers to build relationships so that you can leverage the relationships later for business opportunities. So put the release date, put the price, and then there's something called as an ISBN number. Every book in the world has a unique registration number, and you can read more about this on Google. So get your book registered using an ISBN, or your publisher will do the same for you. Then you can have the website of the book, the email ID, a mobile number where people can contact, a book cover image, and an author image which covers the book info page. Then you come to page 7 where you have the book cover and the publisher details if you fix the publisher with their address, website, and number. Now, you work with this document based on whatever details you have in place. You may not have a publisher at the beginning journey of your book, which is perfectly okay, so eliminate that. But I want you to see this document that is attached in the email, how it creates a perception in the receiver's mind and how they're willing to give you an interview, because this document is what absolutely nails it that you're a true professional and this is a world-class book that they are going to be a part of. So with that, let's quickly summarize the steps to get you started on your authoring journey. Step number 1, get your book title, subtitle, and feature section title in place and review it with your coach. Step 2, go for a photo shoot, enjoy it, start treating yourself like a celebrity. Step 3, get your book cover and your business card designed and your media kit in place. This is what you need as basic ammunition to go out there and do the interviews. Also, refer to the samples we've attached in this email, where you also have the sample of interview questions and a telemarketing script and an email script for the book interview. Use this, start doing interviews. This is the beginning of your authoring journey. And once you complete at least 100 interviews with key decision makers, yes, I believe you need to do at least 100 interviews with key decision makers to leverage the book, because you're going to write one book, give it time, build relationships, and the book will establish you as an authority. In the mastermind, we will share with you how to write a book within 40 hours. And once you've completed the 100 interviews, we will support you with how to find a publisher, how to launch your book, and how to market your book. So with that, we come to the close of this video on what are the steps you need to take to start your authoring journey. And what I want you to fundamentally understand is this. In editorial marketing, you are interviewing people for a blog site. In author marketing, you're interviewing people for a book. In editorial marketing, it's a faster turnaround time. That's the big advantage, because a book will take time to release. So your conversation of business will happen at a later date with the people you're interviewing. But the benefit of a book is the book positions you as an authority, as somebody who's an expert. Editorial marketing, people are happy to welcome you, but the brand benefit of a book is totally at a different level. Now, people often ask us this question, can I do both editorial marketing and author marketing? Yes, that is something we can customize for you in a one-to-one. So reach out to your coaches, but firstly, get started with the task of getting ready to author your book. Enjoy authoring your book, because a book has the potential to change your life like it changed my life. So before we close, let's do one last declaration. Put your hand on your heart. And together, a level 10 energy on the count of 3. I make people famous and become famous. One more time. I make people famous and become famous. And that's the idea. You author a book, you share your knowledge, and also get experts to share their knowledge and build a relationship with them and build a brand for yourself. That's what a book journey is all about. With that, this is Rajiv Talreja signing off. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.